Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. Tangled is a lot of things, but one thing I didn't expect out of it was a Law and Order-esque episode, complete with trials, red herrings, and timestamps? Attila is opening a bakery, aptly called Attila the Bun, but it's sad to see most people are too afraid of him to actually visit. But not Monty, the baker everyone loves and is Rapunzel's archenemy. So, when Monty's shop is utterly destroyed one evening and Attila runs away from the royal guard, it's no surprise when accusations are thrown around and he ends up being arrested. Thus begins Rapunzel's quest to prove her friend's innocence. It's a pretty good episode. You wouldn't really think of Tangled as a cartoon that would so closely mimic the police shows on TV like Law and Order, but here we are. It was a little jarring at first, I have to admit, as it doesn't quite fit the tone or really the overall idea of the show, but it quickly becomes very amusing and also very tense when the clock is running out for poor Attila. I wouldn't mind more episodes that do this, so long as it makes sense for the plot. One Angry Princess also turns out to be quite the suspenseful episode, even as you probably know Attila will be found innocent in the end. It's nice to get a good episode with Rapunzel front and center too. See, Rapunzel spent the past few episodes not really doing all that much, and even the previous episode was almost more about Cass than it was about her. But in this one, we get to see her flaunt her crime-solving skills. A complaint I saw from one viewer of mine was that the show was leaning too hard into Rapunzel's innocence and naivety, so at times she came off a little too stupid. And I get that. I've never really had a problem with it myself, but then I also barely remember the first film. So, if this was a problem for you, you'll be happy to know she's quite intelligent in this episode. There's even one segment where she retraces the steps of the crime a la Batman's vision from the Arkham games. It's incredibly silly but appreciated. Plus, it shows the many outside influences on this episode's writing. Of course, in the end, the real culprit was the goat. Because of the suspense leading up to this dramatic reveal, I was actually expecting it to be Monty of all people. The show was even maybe slightly leaning towards that at one point, though it never fully committed to it in my opinion. The concept that it was just a goat and no serious crime had been perpetrated sort of fits with the show's lighter tone. While I personally would have preferred someone actually get arrested, what actually happened wasn't poorly done at all. Rapunzel showed off her smarts, stuck by her friend to the very end, and all made for an exciting episode. I briefly thought this episode wouldn't stick the landing after such a great episode last week. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Any thoughts of your own on this week's Tangled? What was your favorite part? And have you ever had to stick by a friend even when everyone else was against them? Share your stories below. While you're scrolling down to comment, check out the description where you'll find links to my Spreadshirt account where you can buy some t-shirts like the You Can't Trust a Dude with a Man Bun shirt based off of my review of last week's episode. Or you can find my Patreon that you can pledge to various tiers and support everything I do here on this channel. Thanks for watching and take care.